Welcome to 5-Minute BTech channel. Today, we're really going to tear apart virtual reality and see what makes it tick.
So have you ever really stopped to think about what goes into a VR experience? It's not just some kind of digital magic, right? Nope. It's actually a combination of very specific foundational pieces. So today, we're going to deconstruct it all and look at the 3 core pillars that build every single virtual world you could possibly imagine.
All right, first up, let's talk about the portal. This is our first pillar, and it is all about the physical hardware. You can think of it as the actual gear, the machine that literally bridges the gap between our world and the digital one.
As you can see right here, not all VR is created equal. It's really a whole spectrum. On one end, you've got your non-immersive VR. That's basically your standard PC setup, where you're just looking through a window into another world. Then you can step it up to semi-immersive systems, like those huge fancy flight simulators. But the real deal, the magic, happens with fully immersive VR. That's where head-mounted displays put you right inside a 360-degree world. And hey, when you network all those together, bam, you get distributed VR, which is perfect for multiplayer games and working together.
Now this really highlights the fundamental difference, doesn't it? With non-immersive VR, you're pretty much just an observer, right? You're on the outside controlling things with a keyboard and mouse. But with fully immersive VR, the whole game changes. The system uses motion tracking to make you the controller. You aren't just looking at the world anymore, you are physically present inside of it. And that, my friends, is a huge, huge leap.
Okay, so we've got the hardware sorted. But once we have that portal, we need to actually build the world on the other side. This brings us to our second pillar, representation. This is all about how the digital environment and you inside of it are built completely from scratch. And you've got to remember, every single virtual world, it starts as, well, nothing, a completely blank canvas. World representation is basically the art and science of filling that canvas, creating all the scenery, the objects, and even the basic rules of how things are supposed to work.
And here are the key ingredients. You start with 3D models. That's the basic shape of everything. Then you paint them with textures to make things look like, wood or stone. You add lighting and shadows to create depth and mood, but for me, the absolute secret sauce here is the physics engine. This is the rule book. It's what tells the ball to fall down when you drop it. Without that, the world just feels floaty and wrong.
Okay, so the world is built. Awesome. Now, how do we get inside it? That's where user representation comes in. The system has to create a digital version of you, a presence that can exist and move around inside this new reality we just made.
So how does it build this digital you? Well, this chart breaks it down perfectly. Your avatar is your visual body, what you look like. Body tracking, well, that mirrors your real-world movements. Gaze tracking knows exactly where you're looking. And your virtual hands or controllers are your tools for interacting. It's putting all of these things together that sells that incredibly powerful illusion that you are truly there.
So let's move on to our third and final pillar, interaction. We've got the hardware, we've built the world, we've put ourselves inside of it. So what now? How do we actually do things? How do we move, grab stuff, and control the environment around us?
Interaction in VR is just incredibly diverse. You can use just your gaze to select a button. Controllers give you that manual control to grab and throw things. Some of the more advanced systems let you use your own hand gestures or even your voice. And then you have locomotion, which is just a fancy word for how you move around, and haptic feedback, which actually lets you feel what's happening. Now, that locomotion piece is a big one, because if your eyes are telling your brain you're moving, but your body is standing perfectly still, that can lead to a really common problem, motion sickness. So how in the world did the industry solve this? Turns out, they came up with a pretty elegant solution, just teleporting. Instead of that smooth, continuous movement that can trick your brain into feeling sick, you just point and poof, you're there. It's a super simple but brilliant trick that bypasses that whole sensory mismatch, and that's exactly why it's become a standard pretty much everywhere.
But there's one more piece to this interaction puzzle that is a true game changer, and that's haptics. This is what closes the loop. See, it's not enough to just see and hear the virtual world. Haptics allow you to actually feel it, which is a massive, massive leap for total immersion.
So what does that really mean? It means when a virtual engine starts, your controllers vibrate. When you run your virtual hand over a rough surface, you feel a subtle texture. When you hit a virtual baseball, you feel the impact. It's that physical response that truly sells the reality of the whole experience.
So there you have it, the 3 core pillars that hold up any VR experience. It all starts with a system, that's your hardware portal. Then you need representation, which is how you build the world and yourself inside it. And finally, you need interaction, the rules and tools for how you engage with that world.
Every single time you put on a headset, just remember, these 3 pillars are all working together seamlessly to create that incredible illusion. It's an amazing feat of technology. And it really leaves us with a fascinating final thought. Now that we have the blueprint for building entirely new realities, what should we do with them? If you like the video, hit like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll meet you in the next video.